how does a complete stranger drive directly to a hidden body in miles of trackless wilderness without actually being the killer? The victim at the center of this mystery was a 31-year-old nurse named Melanie Uribe. Living in Burbank, California in 1980, Melanie was known by her colleagues to be meticulously punctual and entirely devoted to raising her young son. So when she failed to show up for her hospital night shift without calling ahead, her coworkers knew instantly that something was terribly wrong. The next day, police located her vehicle abandoned on a highway far outside the city limits. It had been completely torched. With no body, no eyewitnesses, and a burned-out shell of a car, panic spread through Burbank. Residents bought new deadbolts and refused to walk alone at night, terrified by a brutal, invisible predator, while the police struggled to find a single lead. Across town, 32-year-old Etta Louise Smith was working her shift at the massive Lockheed Aircraft factory. As an aerospace quality control expert, her professional life demanded precision and strict adherence to facts. In her world, there was absolutely no room for active imaginations. Over the constant hum of heavy machinery, the factory radio broadcast a news update. The announcer detailed the frustrating, fruitless police search for Melanie Uribe's body. Etta stopped working. Suddenly, a loud, perfectly clear voice spoke right next to her ear, stating, "I am not in a house." In a flash, her sterile workspace vanished entirely. Wide awake, Etta was struck with a vivid vision. She saw a rugged mountain pathway. She saw dirt, jagged rocks, and a white nurse's shoe stained with fresh, dark blood. Etta was a deeply rational engineer, not a mystic, yet she knew with absolute certainty what she had just experienced. A dead woman's spirit had just given her a map, pulling her directly into the center of an active homicide investigation. Etta left work early and drove to the police precinct to report what she had seen. Detectives, accustomed to dealing with fraudulent attention seekers, dismissed her outright and told her to go home. Realizing the authorities wouldn't help, Etta gathered her daughter and relatives to search Lopez Canyon herself. Looking at the imposing, sheer scale of the San Gabriel Mountains, the odds of randomly wandering into evidence were virtually zero. Yet Etta, who had never visited the area, drove these winding, isolated roads with chilling confidence. Guided entirely by an unseen map in her mind, she stopped the car the moment she saw a green highway marker matching her vision. They hiked down into the heavy brush. After hours of walking over the uneven dirt under the hot sun, Etta spotted fresh tire tracks leading toward a hidden clearing. She followed the tracks and found exactly what she had seen on the factory floor. Resting on a pile of rocks was a single white nurse's shoe. A few feet away lay a bloody uniform. Tucked underneath a bush was the body of Melanie Uribe. Her vision was accurate. But by leading her family straight to a corpse hidden in an unmapped expanse of desert, Etta had unwittingly tied herself to a brutal crime scene that nobody else could find. When patrol cars arrived at the dusty canyon, the lead detective froze. He looked at the hidden terrain and then looked directly at Etta. Handcuffed and jailed as the prime suspect for 4 days, Etta faced intense psychological pressure and deceptive polygraph tests to force a confession. Etta remained eerily composed. She knew she had passed their tests, and she fiercely refused to waver from the truth, even as investigators began preparing formal murder charges against her. The criminal justice system was built to process physical evidence, not unexplainable phenomena. That rigidity trapped an innocent woman in a deeply flawed, uncompromising logical loop, pushing her straight to the very edge of a life sentence in prison. Just as the district attorney prepared to prosecute Etta, a police informant working deep within local street gangs delivered an audio tape. On it, a 17-year-old named Norman was bragging to his friends about the terror in Burbank. Brought in for questioning, Norman confessed to everything. The murder was an opportunistic attack. He and 2 other men saw Melanie at a red light, noticed her car doors were unlocked, and simply forced their way inside. Norman then detailed exactly how she died in the desert. After assaulting her, one of his accomplices picked up a heavy rock from the canyon floor and used it to crush Melanie's skull. This graphic shows the division between public knowledge and what investigators call holdback evidence. The specific fact that a canyon rock was used as the murder weapon was a closely guarded secret, never released to the media. Etta could not have possibly known about that rock, nor did she know any of the three men. Norman's confession provided the exact physical evidence needed to secure the gang's guilt, instantly shattering the detective's case against Etta. After 4 terrifying days, the jail cell doors finally opened. Etta was released, and the true perpetrators were sentenced for the crime. But Etta refused to walk away quietly. She filed a lawsuit against the Burbank Police Department, entering a bitter 6-year legal crusade against the system that tried to lock her away. The courts ultimately ruled in her favor. She was awarded a $250,000 settlement, creating a permanent public record that validated her innocence and condemned the department's hasty actions. Melanie's tragic death serves as a stark, practical reminder to always keep your car doors locked. But the resolution of her murder leaves us with a lingering, unanswerable question. Modern science provides no mechanism for it, yet a strictly rational engineer somehow heard a dead woman's voice and followed it straight to the truth.